Hello.
Hi, Saini. How are you doing today?
Hi. Pretty good, pretty good. How about you?
Well, not bad today. Um,
Okay, that's
do
good.
you have time to hang out today?
I probably do. Yeah, I'm figuring I'm in the middle of something right now, but let me call you back in a little bit, okay?
All
When I
right, I
figure
gotta
out what
go
the plan is.
do my
Okay.
chores anyway. So,
All right, you do that.
all
Okay.
right, all right,
Bye.
bye. Tad slept in a nat 20 last night for some reason. So, guess it didn't bother him too much yesterday. Nat 20 means he didn't even need meds. All the talking tuckered him out. Why am I always on the 11th floor? Okay, come on. Hello, could I get... Do you have combos?
I do. Yeah, the combos are really not expensive here. The combos are $364.
Alright, I'll take two combos. Chef's choice on those.
Oh, perfect. Here you go. You just have to swipe. Here, I got you the best combos ever. They're all freshly made here. Here you
Alright.
go. It's in a bag.
Alright, thank you so much.
Have a good day.
You too. Alright. That wasn't Tad, that was me.
Die painfully and slowly!
Little drink break. So, Thad is ripping those pages out of his book. Mainly because now he knows that the clowns know about Tessa. And he's stupid, but he's not that stupid. He knows that some clowns would definitely run his pockets, definitely look for notebooks, definitely look for anything related to Tessa on him. So right now the only thing he's keeping that's actually related to Tessa in any way that they would know about is this 3-leaf clover. He does have the gecko. It is in with the clover, probably eating the clover, which he did find at the ranger station. So it does remind him of Tessa, but he also knows that he should probably try to get rid of that fixation. If he's smart. But, like I said, he is stupid, so don't worry. He'll still be fixated. He just might deal with it in different ways than he has been. I love that. I love that Sneaky took the blueprints for like. They took blueprints for all the car stuff, which I should learn to. I don't really care about types of metals. I might keep them just in case. Old black BB discs. They definitely took some of those because the stacks each had several. Let's put these blueprints in here. Put those in my actual apartment. I hate the editor. I don't like editing. Okay. Let's fix your car. this guy? Fentanyl. Fentanyl. Okay, dude.
What a fucker! Suck my dick! You fucking motherfucker!
Oh yeah? You wanna fight, man?
Fuck you! Jesus, no! Ah! Ah!
I got all the bloody. Hey, dude. Hi,
Hi.
Saini. How you doing?
Hi. Been better.
Oh no, what's
Not
up?
gonna
What's
lie,
up?
but-
What's going on?
I don't know. It's
You-
my friend getting married and oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's
Bridezilla?
No, not even that. Hmm. It's just it's just a fucking lot. Okay. I'm gonna tell you something that you're not supposed to know, and nobody is supposed to know.
Alright.
You know Edgar? You heard of him?
No.
Okay.
So-
Well, that's fine then. Well, he's gonna get married to my dear friend EJ.
EJ's getting married?
Uh-huh.
Wasn't she just getting stalked?
Yeah.
She's got an exciting life.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, yeah. Especially because this marriage it's gonna be a big deal. It's gonna, like, the whole point of it is that it's supposed to be a huge deal. Like, everybody's invited and needs to be grand. And this is the part that nobody is supposed to know. So,
Well, mum's word.
you know, I'm not. Yeah. It is. It's like the whole thing is fake. Well, they are getting married, but I don't know why. It's not because they've been dating, because
Huh.
they're in love. It's for some other reason.
Maybe a political reason, or
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. And yeah, so she's just doing him a favor. And
that's a pretty big favor.
I know, right? And so I mean, I'm kind of in a situation where I just decided to say fuck it, you know? You do you. I'm gonna try to help you out, but I'm not gonna tell you that this is not a good idea, or yeah, I did tell her that this is gonna go fucking horribly wrong, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna stop her. If she wants to dive headfirst into stupid shit, then she can do that.
Yeah.
And what I'm just kind of feeling right now is I'm a little tired of,
Sure.
being, and this is not just because of the wedding. It's kind of exacerbated by the fact that she has a whole event, a whole big wedding to plan, but she is the sun and everybody else is orbiting her, and I like to be in control of my own life, so I hate shit like, if you get together with your friends and they end up being on the phone for 15 minutes just running around and you're wondering what the fuck's going on, and she's
Yeah.
kind of like that, just go with the flow and everybody else follows, and I can't do that. So
Yeah.
I'm just struggling a little bit with that, and balancing the fact that I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I told you about Ethan and I, right?
Yeah. Y'all dating?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
fine.
yeah, you were there at the
Yeah.
yeah.
The picnic.
So picnic, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm also kind of struggling with that because he's the type of guy who, I don't know, I feel like he doesn't, like, he has a hard time putting his foot down, and he's been away for a little bit, so I got to see him a little bit before Storm, and then after, like, we had some plans, but I feel like he probably just got whisked away and didn't respond to calls or texts. And then we just kind of by accident, I got kind of invited to go to the lighthouse where they were taking pictures, just like mermaid photos. I was
Huh.
like, what the fuck? Why am I here? And what the fuck is going on? So I don't know. I just feel pissed off about like small shit that doesn't really matter, but
Well, sounds like maybe he's not making you a priority. Which
yeah,
happens in
Mhm.
relationships, but
it does.
it's hard when it happens at the beginning of a relationship.
You're so right. And we did talk about this as well.
That's
But
good.
yeah, and I mean he's super understanding. He's super sweet. He's we kind of know where these issues are, but it's I just I fear that at some point I can't just take it anymore, especially from, like, it's not that I'm jealous of their friendship or the fact that them spending time with each other or whatever. That's fine. Like, I spend time with other people as well. It's not an issue. But her way of just going about things is so chaotic and so like all encompassing, and
Oh,
other
so
people just end up
It's EJ
running after.
taking
Yeah.
Ethan's time.
Well, not just. No.
All right.
It's not like that. And he's only been back for like a couple of hours, so it just happens to be EJ oftentimes, and I think it's the fact that I don't like how she operates with her friends, and I know how she makes her friends feel, which is very often people feel left behind. They feel like they're not a priority to her. They stop
Like a
reaching
little
out to her.
used.
Mhm.
Like she wants them
Yeah.
around when she wants them around, and that's about
Yeah,
it.
kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean the fact that they're, you know, like the people are so willing to do whatever for her, and oftentimes it's been dudes who have caught feelings for her, and I don't like that. You know, I want people to put their foot down and say, no, okay, we're gonna do this, and you're gonna do it on my time, and not have people just,
Yeah.
you know, on a lead.
Well, people who allow her to roll over them like that, they're doing that because they think they can get something out of her
Yes.
by giving her the lead, you know?
Mm-hmm. 100%.
I don't know. That's a rough one.
Yeah.
As far as you know, her and other people taking Ethan's time when you want some of his time, it's okay to feel jealous about that. That jealousy is a good indicator that there's something there that needs to be discussed, which you've been discussing it with him, so that's good. But it's not. People think of jealousy as like this destructive emotion, but it's only destructive if you let it get destructive, you know?
Yeah.
If you act destructively because of it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just an indicator that there's some maybe feeling of inadequacy or self-esteem issue or just loneliness. Like if you're dating someone, you expect to be able to see them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're so spot on with everything, and it's hard because. Go ahead.
No, I was just spot on with every. I was just telling someone last night that I'm good at dealing with difficult emotions when they're not pointed at me. But
Yeah, when
they're
it's not
pointed
your
at me,
Yeah.
well, it's not even when it's not my own. It's when other people
Pointed
aren't
at
feeling
you.
them about me. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel I feel that. I've been supporting my friends through some rough emotional shit over the last over here for the last 5 months, I would say, or 4 or whatever. But when the tables turn, I'm you know the rational side of me understands that it's mainly just very simple things. It's everything can be discussed, especially with Ethan. Like with Ethan, I don't feel a discomfort because I don't trust that we could have a conversation about it. It's more that I I think I told you this. I keep telling everybody I've never been a jealous person. But I kind of realized that it's not even that I'm jealous now, it's just that I'm a little obsessive because it's the beginning of a relationship.
Yeah, you
And
got that new relationship energy.
yeah, 100%. And I just want everything. Like all the time, and I know that that's not how things work. And it's not how things are supposed to be. But it's just it's hard to come to terms with all that and handle it because I'm so not used to it. I'm used to being the one who like just dictates the pace. Like,
Yeah.
and when we're done, when we're, whatever. But
Yeah.
this is so
seems,
different.
Seems like you and I are pretty similar there.
Mm.
Feeling new feelings when it comes to new sorts of relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing how to deal with them.
Yeah. So how you been? I just kind of hijacked the situation and
No, that's fine.
'cause
I truthfully, in the past day, I've talked about myself just about too much.
I don't know. Someone I don't know who this is calling me, and I'll pick it up. Hello. Mm-hmm. Something kind of simple. Okay, okay. I am. Dang it. I would really love to help you right away, but I'm in the middle of a meeting. Can I call you back? Is that okay? Okay. All right. What's your name? Ethel. All right. I will save your number and give you a call. No, that's okay. No, that's okay. I will just call you back when I'm done with my meeting, okay? All right. All right. Bye-bye. Oh my god, I feel so bad for this is like she sounded old and she needs a job.
Huh.
Like, let people retire. God damn it. Okay,
Yeah.
anyway, sorry, continue.
Well, so on Thursday night, I was working at Mosley's, and
Mhm.
and Chatterbox came in. It's the first time I met Chatterbox, and I gave him a 2 across. And the very end of the conversation, there were definitely some veiled threats. And then there were some less veiled threats as he went away. And I thought, well, it could just be how he is, but probably Tessa said something. I don't know how close she is to Chatterbox, but he seemed to know something. And then yesterday, Sneaky and Twinkles came up with a ruse to get me to meet with them, and I talked with them for something like 2 hours. I did a lot of deflecting that they didn't realize, because I'm a yapper, so I just talk to control the flow of information. You ask me a question and I might go off in a different direction and pretend like I forgot the question. It gives me time to think of the answer. But I did that quite a bit. I thought I was gonna die. I thought they were probably gonna kill me, but they didn't. I'm here. But now I know I'm in danger, so that's and I slept like a baby last night.
Really?
So maybe I needed that, just the knowledge.
Yeah.
I don't know. That sneaky fella's unsettling.
Oh yeah, he's the one who blew up
Yeah,
the taco place.
He told me about that. He said you wouldn't hire him. So
Yeah.
because
he
asked me if I had anyone to talk to, and I said I've been talking to Saini. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah, he mentioned that. He's like, I think I'm forgiven though, because I get food from them sometimes. So
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not forgiven, but you know, his money is as
still good.
valuable as anyone else's. You know.
Yeah. Well, it was fine. I mean, it was a good conversation, I think, but
Mm-hmm.
took a lot out of me. And then I went to see a new therapist last night.
Okay. Seem
And
any better than the other ones?
Yeah, she seemed to know kind of more what was going on with me.
Okay.
She said it seemed less like I was struggling with a lot of anxiety and more like I was struggling with a lot of OCD tendencies.
Mm.
Like a lot of compulsions, and then of course the
Yeah.
obsession stuff. And it kind of made sense. So I've been kind of working on that based on what she said. Like, I'll have a compulsion to do something, and I'll sit and think about it first and try to figure out if it's healthy. And if it's healthy, I'll go ahead and do it. But if it doesn't seem healthy, then, you know, just sit with it.
Mm-hmm.
She said to sit with it and be uncomfortable with it until you get bored sitting,
Mm.
you know? And that'll kind of train the compulsion out, I guess. So that's, I guess, what I'll do. I didn't get into a lot of details with her because when I went to Dr. Jackie and got into details, he ended the session really fast. It felt bad. And he also
Yeah.
mentioned that he was really good friends with Tessa, and that felt bad. So I
Yeah.
just did not bring her up. Like, I brought up fixations on
Mm-hmm.
people and places, but I did not say a name. And actually, after the talk with the clowns yesterday, that kind of felt like the safer thing to do anyway.
Yeah.
So that was my night. It's, I guess, fine. I mean, I must have did something right, because I am relatively sure that their intention was to kill me when we first got there.
Mm-hmm.
Yap my way out of that, you know.
Well, that's good.
That sneaky fellow though. He got
Oh boy. Yeah.
he shows his dark side, but he's got a darker side. So
Yeah, I bet. I bet he does.
and I think Twinkles does too. Because I was talking about some of my issues, and Sneaky said to Twinkles, "Oh, that kind of reminds me of you," and then wouldn't discuss it any further when Twinkles was like, because he didn't want me knowing. I think they still think I'm gonna hurt Tessa though.
Yeah.
I don't have any intention on doing that.
Yeah. But I mean,
I did tell you there's a little part of me that wants to, but I know that it wants to hurt
Mhm.
the Tessa that I thought of as my friend, which was a hallucination,
Mhm.
so I'm
yeah.
not going to take that out on the real Tessa. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, from it's real tricky because if you have a friend who you care for, or like for them a family member, I guess, basically, you know, you will tend to fear the worst, I guess.
You know. I think also maybe she's fearing the worst.
Yeah.
Based on the fact that she told those two specifically, which I don't know if they were acting on her orders or if they took it into their own hands. Because that Chatterbox fellow, he gave me a warning, but he didn't seem menacing until the very end there, you know?
Right.
He had to have known who I was throughout the whole thing, so... But, Maybe he just wanted the work done on his car. I don't know.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
yeah.
I've heard about him. He's he's tormented a friend of mine for a long, long time. He's not around too much right now, but you know, it's one of those things where anytime his name, Chatterbox's name, pops up, he just freaks out.
Yeah, how's he torment him?
I don't remember. What a good friend I am, but it's been something or other, like not torture, but just scaring him, I guess. And maybe I don't remember exactly. It's been pretty long since we talked about it, but I do remember the name and just wondering. I don't know if I've ever met Chatterbox, but I've just heard about him from
He
people
has
who are scared.
a pretty scary half mask.
Oh, interesting.
I figured I wouldn't mention it when I saw him, but it was pretty scary.
Yeah.
Usually, you don't really want to mention the scary parts of people directly to their face. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I felt like he knew something, but at that point in time, I didn't really feel threatened. But then yesterday, Sneaky called me and said he got my number off the lemon list. He was calling down the list to see if someone could help him out because his bike broke down up in Sandy, and he needed a repair kit. And I was up near there with my tow truck. I recognized his voice, but I didn't really recognize who it was. I just heard the voice before. I took him the repair kit, and I kind of knew I was in trouble when about 10 seconds after I arrived and gave him the repair kit, Twinkle showed up in a car that also needed a repair kit. So I gave him my last repair kit, and I tried to play it off like I didn't, like I didn't know what was going on. But at one time they spoke over each other, and I was talking about how I was going to therapy for like grief counseling and some other stuff, and Twinkles asked, "What's grief counseling?" And Sneaky said, like, stalking.
Oh God.
And I just said, "I'm sorry, I didn't get that." And Twinkles repeated himself, so I focused on that one. Acted like I didn't hear it. But, and I just kind of went along with it. I kind of gave them ways to keep me with them, because, well, I feel like I should have been punished a long time ago, before I even knew Tessa. And then I did all this stuff to Tessa, and I've just been waiting for my punishment. I just don't know if it's gonna, like, fit the crime,
Yeah.
But I kind of wanted to get it over with. I reached out to Twinkles the other day because I found something, and I used to reach out to Tessa for that. So I reached out to him to see if he could tell me what it was, and then I found another one, and it turns out, and I was like, "Oh, this is just garbage. People are just leaving them all over." So I said, "Never mind." But the only reason I reached out to Twinkles is because I was tired of waiting.
Yeah.
What better way to find out if someone knows something than to talk to them directly? I just wanted
you're not wrong.
I just wanted it to be. So now I know I'm in danger, but it feels like it's more controlled. It's more in my control now. Because I know I know that she's told people, and that I need to watch my back, and that I need to be very careful when I just happen to run into her in the city, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit I don't know. I also know if I wake up in the hospital all wet,
Yeah, what probably happened.
what it probably was. It was either that or it was a hostage situation gone really wrong.
Yeah.
So.
Or you fell over by the river.
Yeah, I oceaned up my own car or something like that. You know?
Yeah.
It's happened before. Wake up in the hospital, don't know what happened. Track my car, it's in the middle of the ocean. Oh, well, that's what happened.
Yeah. That hasn't happened to me yet, but, very nearly did.
Don't try to drive up Mount Gordo on the ocean side.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah. Well, while I'm not glad that these guys are a threat to you, I don't know, I feel some solace in the fact that you feel more in control, even if it's not like
Yeah.
all good.
Well, I got a little bit sad because I didn't get a good read on Chatterbox, but I kind of feel like in my past life, Twinkles and Sneaky would have been my friends, you know?
Yeah.
My friends that I hung out with when I wanted a little excitement, you know? Because I don't think they know how to not be exciting in all the
Yeah,
wrong
that's
ways, you know?
Yeah.
But now I just kind of gotta avoid them too, you know? Because I had a reason for contacting Twinkles when I contacted Twinkles, but I realized that was kind of a loophole, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not supposed to be contacting Tessa, so I contact one of her boys.
Next best thing, yeah.
Yeah. But to my defense, I don't know a lot of crims. I don't know criminals.
Yeah.
The ones I know take me hostage, and they're not going to tell me their name and their phone number, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, some of them have even been like, hey, we got to recruit this guy, and then, nothing happens. I don't know if I'd want to be recruited anyway.
Yep.
I'm fine with doing, like, petty crime. But I have to ask for help a lot, and it takes me a long time to learn some things, and I feel like I'd be a hindrance, and they'd end up not wanting me to hang out with them anymore, you know, because I couldn't provide them with something, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh, I did find out the clowns are like a soft gang. Like it's
What does that even mean?
well, they're
Soft gang?
well, okay, so Twinkles used this this example. They took someone hostage for like a laundromat or cash exchange or something, and like 5 minutes later, that guy shows up at the food court and takes them all out with like a submachine gun. And the clowns just think it's funny and won't do anything about it. But if they were like a gang, it would be war, you know? So soft gang in the fact that they sometimes act like a gang, but that it's more of a lifestyle,
Right.
less of a gang. Like they're family. And there are at least two groups. They
Mhm.
don't really seem to fuck with the Neon Circus. So
Yeah, I feel there was. I think there was some sort of split at some point. I'm not sure.
yeah, I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
ask about it because I'm
Yeah, I
already
mean,
on their shit list, so I'm not gonna ask
yeah.
more than I already felt
Yeah.
weird asking are the clowns a gang. So
Mhm. Yeah.
apparently, depending on what clown you ask, that might get you hurt asking if they're a gang. Because
Oh, okay, that's good to know. Yeah.
some are dead set against being called a gang, and others are like, yeah, well, we kind of do a gang, a little bit, you know.
Mm.
So I guess I probably got lucky that I was talking to Twinkles at that time.
Yeah, seems like it.
I don't know. So, how's Raul doing? Didn't he seem to have a crush on EJ, right? So
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, he got a cold shower for sure when she told him about the marriage. He also, like, he doesn't know. Like, it's only a couple of us, at least from her side, or at least, like, that's what she told me. There's just Ethan and myself who actually know that it's
that it's fake.
kind of a root. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Well, that'll
but
hurt Raul even more, because, like, where the hell did it come from?
yeah, about, like, a lot of people say that, like, they're very suspicious of it all because it's like, when did they even meet? Like, how are they getting married all of a sudden? And some people straight up just say, well, I guess I don't think this is, they're not necessarily saying it's fake, but, maybe they're doing it for the wrong reasons or whatever.
Are you sure she's not being forced into it somehow?
I don't think so. Like, in some, like, she explained it to me in a way where she said she asked him for a favor, or for for a favor, basically. And, it was something super small. I don't even remember what she said because it was so insignificant. And then, he needed the favor returned, and this is what he asked of her. And
Huh.
okay, so like, I was just wondering, okay, so if I was you, I would have said, these favors are not in balance. But I
Is
also
Edgar
think,
dangerous?
yes.
Well, then,
I mean, he was.
if I were her,
Yeah,
I wouldn't say these aren't
mhm.
in balance. I'd just...
Also, okay, so I don't know how dangerous he is, but he is one of those people who, well, he had a big court case like a couple weeks ago. He was
That's
up
maybe why
for life in prison or death penalty.
Well, that might
But
be
he
why
got neither.
I kind of... When you said his name, I was like,
Mhm.
I feel like I've heard of an Edgar, but I couldn't place it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's a gang leader, I guess. I'm not sure about the specifics of it, but
Yeah.
he's a person who. So I called him after I heard about this marriage, because I mean, I've had a couple run-ins with him in situations that are sketchy. You know, I like way back a couple months ago, I did some stuff that, I mean, I'm not necessarily proud of. It was
You
one
don't
of
have to be.
his.
You don't have to be embarrassed with me. I've done plenty. I'm not proud of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and this is also a thing that, just between you and me.
Sure.
I haven't really told anyone about it, but it was, I was looking for purpose, looking for excitement, and EJ was at that point, she was hard focused on New Epsilon, on getting kind of in good with the people in New Epsilon and becoming a member. And I did not really know anyone in New Epsilon. I just knew a couple of them kind of in passing, and me, like everyone else, seemed to be, or I was suspicious. I wanted to know like what might be going on there, but
Yeah,
not
I'm a
enough
little
for me
suspicious
to.
too.
Yeah. But yeah, I wasn't curious enough or suspicious enough to push it on my own. I thought, well, she's an adult, she can do whatever she wants, and I'm not gonna be a part of that. But I'll stick by her side, and if shit goes wrong, then I'll be there to pick up the pieces. But just one day, out of the blue, a guy who I basically only saw while selling food to him, just I don't remember if he had a gun or anything, but like basically just told me to get in the car, and he drove me to Fudge Lane. It was him and his buddy, and he was part of Edgar's people, and he was dead set on, we have to figure out what's going on with New Epsilon. Like there's something very fishy. There's something crazy going on in this, in this city, and we have to figure out what they're hiding and what's going on. And my, the part of me that I've kind of kept at bay, the curious one, the one who
The journalist.
investigate that one, yeah.
Yeah.
It just scratched that itch enough for me to be like, okay, and I said to myself, I told myself that it is because I care for EJ and I don't want her to get hurt, so it makes sense for me to get closer and to figure out like who these people are, what they do, how they operate, what they're hiding. And the fact that there's someone who wants me to do that for them, he told me he will pay, and I said, I will not accept pay for this, because I have my own. I think I was protecting myself in a sense. I didn't want to
Yeah.
take money
Yeah.
and be tied into that.
If you take his money, you do it his way.
Yeah. And so Edgar was at that meeting, that first one. And the second one that I had, I brought them a document with a map of the New Epsilon Center, because I got a tour inside. And I told them about the structure, everything that I found out. And they were impressed, and they wanted me to, like this guy James, he wanted me to infiltrate harder, like become part of it, like get closer, become part of the group. And I was hesitant because that was not something I wanted to do. Because reputation is everything, and if I know how people view them, or some people view them, as cultists. And it is very hard, even if I could say after the fact that I was just doing it as an investigative journalist. Who listens to that? It's the first impression that matters.
Yeah.
So I was pushing back. I was saying, I don't know if, I can help you, but I can't. That's something that I don't know if I can do. And all the while, we were having this conversation. Edgar's sitting there on his phone, and I got the feeling that he was actually dictating what was being said. Because James just, his tone changed very fast when I got adamant and I said, I don't think I can do this. And then he suddenly kind of, his tone changed and he said, okay, if you're not comfortable with it, you know, you can do it another way and you can, you know, you can keep doing what you want to do. And then we, after ending that conversation, I didn't really see Edgar after that. But I had a feeling, like, based on those conversations, that he's very cunning. And he's a yapper as well. And I don't think I ever heard of James after that. Edgar told me he got lost in the sauce, so I think he just disappeared.
Huh.
So I didn't really, like, my contact with them ended there. But now, like, I have a suspicion that Edgar might have told someone about this encounter, but it has never been brought up, and I have since become friends with, well, not only EJ, but Diego, who is one of the board of directors of Epsilon. And, you know, I feel like if this was ever to come out, that would look really bad for me, because it was pretty bad. And I called Edgar after I heard about the wedding, and I told him, yeah, we met that couple of times in your bar, through James. And he said, well, you know, that was like, that's basically ancient history. Things have changed so much since then. And I said, I agree, but I just, you know,
Yeah,
don't
now
want
he has
this
an in to New
Mhm.
Epsilon by
Mhm.
asking one
Yeah.
of them to marry him.
Yeah, but, like, to what end? That's still something that baffles me. I don't know, like,
They
what
must-
could it be?
They must have something that he wants. That's all I
Yeah.
can think of, because, or he thinks they have something that he wants.
Yeah, and that's what I'm struggling with so hard, because I don't know, like, what could that be? Like, what could they have? Like, the key to immortality? Like,
Well, maybe, or maybe he thinks that, you know, because the reason I'm suspicious of New Epsilon is because they feel kind of like a cult, and a lot of religions are
Mhm.
kind of like that. A lot of
mhm.
organizations like that feel like a cult, whether they are or not.
Mhm.
And you know, there are cults where I come from too, and I've seen people go down that path. And
Yeah. Yeah. And I was thinking the exact same thing. But now, like a couple months in, or a month in, or whatever, to knowing more of them and seeing more of what they do, being a little bit closer. Like, of course, there's stuff that happens behind closed doors that I'm not privy to.
yeah,
But what they preach, I can't really disagree with a lot of it,
sure.
because they're very adamant about being non-violent in everything, and like, just trying to figure out ways to better the community, the betterment of the life of lifers, people in disadvantaged positions, you know, stuff like that. And while that could be a great front for whatever they're doing, like whatever sinister shit they're doing, I'm like, okay, I have not seen any shred of evidence of anything except for these good things. While I can point my finger at any of the gangs in the city, the police departments, you know,
the mayor?
Yeah. Like
I know
any,
you work for him,
any
but
group.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know him too well. It's very much in a professional capacity. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, so you know, it's like hard for my brain to turn that suspicion, you know, to back to a 100. You know?
Yeah. Because you know more about the at the end of the day, they might still be a cult, but
Yeah.
they keep that part behind closed doors, and for the most part, their public outreach is positive. So
Yeah. Yeah, and what
Yeah.
I've like talked to people about, it's like the question of like do I really care if they're laundering a shit ton of money? I don't. I don't really like money is it's whatever.
Like, who
Like
is it in this city?
yeah,
You know?
yeah, I am more worried about the people who take me hostage, who you know, shoot at people that I care about. Um
Yeah, more worried about people who shoot you for making a small mistake that maybe offends them a little bit. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
For, yeah, so stuff like that, like, so my perspective has kind of shifted. But again, like, there might be stuff that happens behind closed doors that I don't know about, and there probably is a bunch. But you know,
Do you need any food?
oh no, thank you, I got some. But yeah, so this whole thing, I talked to him on the phone about it a little bit. Like, you know, I just wanted to make sure that this doesn't have to come out. And then we talked for like 10 minutes. And like the end result was he invited me to go like join them for their honeymoon.
What?
And this is one of those things where I don't know if that's like a Guarman tradition or something, where you know you bring everybody for a honeymoon, but where I'm
Or if
from, the
it's
honeymoon is for like
inappropriate.
that's what I was thinking. But
What?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, he was kind of joking, but probably kind of not, because he said you said yes now, so you know. It's impolite if you refuse later. So
Actually,
I
I'm
don't really know.
now I'm kind of worried about EJ, because if this isn't a love thing,
Mhm.
I don't really like that she is going on a honeymoon. You know?
Yeah. Maybe it's good
but-
I'm going with.
I know of two kind of political marriages in my hometown, and they've been married to each other for over 20 years, and I don't think they've ever had sex.
Mhm.
Because it wasn't about that. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I'm pretty sure
it's
they're
so
just
odd.
beards to each other. Like it's that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
They're not
Yeah,
actually
that's
with
fair.
each other. They're just
Yeah, just on paper, just to, you know, for the
for
pictures.
appearances.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Is Edgar gay?
I don't think so. I get the feeling that he really likes the ladies. And he I also had to clarify because I got the impression that he thought I might be in love with EJ. Or, you know, because I did come off a little strong probably, because I told him like,
Yeah.
don't hurt her, okay?
Yeah. Friendship
Wow,
is pretty close to romantic love if you really think about it. So
Yeah.
just like different intentions behind the love, but
Yeah.
same deal. You're still protective. You still care about them. Like
100%.
wow.
Yeah, it is.
Sounds like a
interesting
pickle.
times. Yep. It is. Yeah, it's interesting and it is tiring. with everything, but it's gonna be a big spectacle. And I'm gonna be there.
I guess enjoy the fireworks from the front row.
Yeah.
Just maybe practice your duck and cover skills.
I think that's exactly what I need to do.
Scope out the event location and find places to hide before.
Yeah, I think the crazy thing is it's gonna be an island, and I think I saw like one tree. That's about it. No rocks.
Well,
It's gonna be open as all hell.
learn to swim, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, I
Like,
gotta.
Had a scuba tank right in the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, you can always, if I'm around, you can ping me and, so I know where it is. And then, like, if I don't hear from you after like an hour, I'll go look for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
That's if I'm around, though. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty. Kind of early on. Is it Thursday? What was it?
Yeah.
I have the time up for. Wait. Yeah, 4 p.m. EST.
Yeah, I'll definitely not be here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe when I wake up that day, I'll check in and see
Yeah.
if you
See the
answer.
carnage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Saini, that sounds like. Is there any way at all that you could like play hooky that day?
Yeah, I don't know.
It might turn out fine.
Yeah,
just
it
be
might,
a
it
show.
might. Yeah, I think that might. Like, it might. It might.
Because
for
I mean,
sure.
they want people to believe in
Yes.
in the wedding. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think that's the best case scenario.
I'm not particularly. I have no opinions either way on EJ. I think
Mm-hmm.
she's nice, but she does seem to be. I don't like this. Like she likes the attention. You know?
Oh, 100%. Yes. Yeah.
Even if maybe she's saying that she doesn't like all the attention sometimes, she
Yeah.
definitely likes it. She invites it.
Yes, she does. And she
yeah.
has admitted it as well.
Yeah, she's a little just her natural way of speaking is kind of flirtatious,
Yes.
which I've known a lot of people like that, so it doesn't really get people said I'm like that, but I think it's just because of my draw. I don't really
Maybe, yeah.
but yeah, I don't have strong opinions on her, but I do feel kind of bad for her in this situation because it seems a lot like she asked for a simple favor from someone who has much more power than she has. And then when
Mhm.
he asked for the favor to be returned and asked for something bigger, there's really nothing she could do to say no.
Yeah, I agree. But a part of me,
She
A
also
part
might
of
think it's
me-
exciting.
yes.
So,
Yes. Part of me
Yeah.
thinks she could have said no, but she didn't.
or she could have asked if there was absolutely anything else that she could
Yeah.
do instead.
Yeah, because and this is also like between you and me. This is not the first time. Like she has like she told me how she got to the city. Like way back when. She told me about how there was a guy who liked her and he I think proposed to her and she just left. You know, she had that level of, commitment issues. She just, left him on red completely, and so, like, while in the city, um, she had her fair share of problematic relationships, let's say. Usually it's because of her flirtatious ways, which sometimes she's proud of, and sometimes she just denies understanding why people fall for her, and denies leading people on and stuff like that. She had a bunch of that going on, but also with the new Epsilon stuff, there was a moment where someone close to the new Epsilon group needed to marry I guess, like a natural born citizen or something, for like a visa or something like that, or for like, I don't know, to not get deported.
Yeah.
And she was in a relationship with someone at the time, and I don't know if she got offered to, like, if someone offered her up or if she offered herself up, but she was gonna do it. So it's not like the first time.
Huh.
I'm getting a weird call from a weird number again. Hello? Oh, yeah. Hi. Well, it is a service that helps people find work and helps them, especially if you're new in town. It is kind of a starting point for some people. Are you looking for work? Okay, okay.
Looking for work in all the wrong
Yeah.
places.
Okay. So you're like working for the PD, applying. Right. Yeah, the marshals, they're still around, but I don't know, I don't know how they, how you become a marshal, how their recruitment works, but for the PD, for sure, they have their own application process.
I'm pretty sure you have to be a part of the
You did?
PD, and then they get recruited to
Yeah.
the marshals from that.
Spade? Oh, okay, yeah, it might be. I wonder if it's like something you need to do again. Yeah. Yeah. A long time. Yeah. Okay, so do you have like, because I've seen like DOC is also looking for people, but like, if you have your eyes set on being an officer, I wonder if it like you probably don't want to commit to anything else, any other government job before. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, lawyers you need. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I think so. Lawyer stuff, lawyers are definitely needed. There's a lack of lawyers right now, I feel like. So, contacting a judge, I guess, or, another lawyer if you find one on Lemon List, that would be a good way to kind of probably start. And yeah, I mean, if let's hope Charlotte gets back to you about your application, but if not, I think you just need to be I don't know, check in with them and ask if you need to do a new application. In case it's been. Yeah. Might be, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about the PD application side of things. I'm not involved in that, so you gotta talk to them about that. But yeah, if you like, outside of being a lawyer, if you need to figure out like work, let's say like gig work or just some employment with, I don't know, food stalls, something, you get pay slips and stuff nowadays. So if you need like just money sorted, feel free to you know, bother me about that. That's it's all good. I have like a list of, like right now there's I think a bunch of food stores that are hiring. If you have skills in being a mechanic or something like that, then that's also always an option. And yeah, yeah, uh-huh. Okay, yeah, PD Toe I think is also, they might also be hiring. Yeah, there is PD Toe, yeah. So and I think that might be something that could be a good gig if you're waiting to, I'm not 100% sure, but you know, if you're waiting to be, hell yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So there's, if you look on Lemon List right now, there is a couple people with PD Toe in there. Like there's Edie Silver. I don't know these people, but William Pepe. So I mean, maybe reaching out to them and checking if like how they're, if they're looking to hire more people or how that works, because that could be a good gig for sure. All right. What's your name, by the way? All right. I will save your number. Hell yeah. And yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit out. You know, I'm not in the city right now. I'm out in the woods. In a little bit of a meeting, so I will need to get back to that. But please feel free to reach out if you have any other questions, anything you need. I can try to help you out with that. All right. Okay. You too. Bye bye. Sorry, I didn't mean to be a phone guy, but I felt like this was something that was probably pretty easily sorted because he already knew what he wanted to do.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I do like the fact that I've graduated to being a meeting. So.
Well, you know what? You know what? I always say I'm in a meeting because if I don't, people will assume I can get free whenever.
Yeah.
And if I just say I'm in a meeting, people respect that so much. It's crazy.
Sure,
Nobody
they think
ever
it's business.
bats an eye. Yes. Yeah. They think it's important. You know, because it's if it's a meeting, it's official. You know, like just having a talk with someone isn't important, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was fishing the other day and I said, yeah, I'm in a meeting. I'm going to be in a meeting for like maybe an hour. And, you know, just...
Yeah, I've started getting kind of disturbed walking around town, like especially the apartments and senior buns, because people just leave fish out everywhere.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's not fun.
It definitely makes it clear to me that I would not enjoy fishing now, because I mean they're already dead by the time I see them, but they're just laying there. Like,
yeah,
what was their life for? You know?
Yeah.
But you know, nothing I can do about it. People are gonna do that. They litter all over. And
Yeah.
I guess dead fish is nothing different. It does smell. I don't know.
It does, yeah. It is not
why they wouldn't just
pleasant.
get, like, dispose of them properly or cook them or something.
Yeah. No, it's they want to be a nuisance. That's why.
Yeah.
It's the only reason I can think of.
Well, they're assholes. That's all
Mhm.
I can say. They may not be.
Yep.
They may not always be assholes, but they're doing asshole things. So.
Yep.
Yeah. It seems like I just forgot what I was gonna say, so I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna make up something.
That's
welcome
fine.
to my inner monologue where I start saying something and then I forget what I was saying,
Yeah.
and so usually I just make up some bull crap and keep talking. But
You know, I actually really like it when people say stuff like, "Oh, I forgot what I was saying," or "I didn't actually have anything to say," or something that I try to do at least, is, uh, "Can you repeat that? I forgot to listen." Because sometimes you just
Yeah.
space out, and I feel like it's more fair to just say it straight up, like I didn't,
sure,
I
I,
spaced out.
I wasn't
Than
listening,
to
but I care enough about what you're saying
Yeah.
to ask you
Yeah,
to say it
please
again.
repeat. Yeah, exactly. Not
Yeah.
just trying to save face and say, yeah, okay,
Sure.
cool,
Uh-huh.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But I did want to say something actually,
Okay.
and I don't remember if I said this the last time, but I feel like today, especially, um, this this talking to you has been really good,
I'm glad.
and like especially, I was, yeah, I came here not in the best of moods. But I don't know. There's something about just sitting here and talking to you, listening to you talk. It it grounds me in some way, I guess.
It's the draw, isn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, but it's also, there's and I think that's something that I didn't realize before, but I like having conversations with people. I used to do it for a job. Like I sat with people for hours and hours and talked to them
Yeah.
about things, about them. I, you know, trying to figure out what was going on, what they were thinking, what they were feeling, all that. And just kind of being present with someone else. And it's so different. And it's, a lot of people can't really do that. Or they don't want to.
Yeah.
They're not ready for that. And I guess it's a little bit tricky. There's this sentiment about Finnish people being pretty reserved and, not super social necessarily. And yeah, keeping everybody at arm's length, which is true, but there's also the other side of that, which is when you befriend a Finn, you have a friend for life. And
Yeah.
I think that's where the conversations, the like real bonding comes into play. I don't care enough about like just the performance part of being social, you know?
Yeah.
So this is really valuable to me.
I think it's similar with like country folk,
Mhm.
we're really nice and personable, but we don't really allow ourselves to be vulnerable to each other.
Yeah.
But like I had vulnerability with one person in my life, and part of my goal for coming here was to open it up, because that one person, well, technically it's been two people in my life, but
Mhm.
they're both dead, and I can't do anything about that. And it's lonely just going through the actions of how to be social in a way that is upbeat and less vulnerable. It's
Mhm.
just like the surface
Yeah,
social.
something that's easy for other people to digest.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think we never really get to know each other that way.
Yeah.
So I'd rather sit with someone and really talk. Like even yesterday when I was sitting with Twinkles and Sneaky, like I didn't ask them to talk much because I didn't feel like I was in a position to do that, even though Twinkles asked me if I had questions, you know. But the only way I was gonna let them get to know me at all is to open up a little. Like I said, I left a lot out, but
Yeah.
you gotta show some vulnerability so people know who you are. That's the whole, you know, believe people when they tell you who they are. Well, first they have to be willing to tell you who they are.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I appreciate your willingness to talk to me. Like the past few times we talked, I've hit you with some pretty heavy stuff, and it hasn't scared you away, so that's nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's easier to like. Well, I don't know if that's actually true, but I was about to say it's easier for me to listen and to hear what you're saying and, you know, all the heavy stuff to kind of I don't know, but it's easier because it's words.
Yeah.
And, you know, so it is, for me, it's easy to listen and to empathize, but you know, the fact that I don't know what you're going through makes it easier for me to, you know, just not be terrified of it, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
I mean, I'm terrified of it, so
Yeah.
I think that's probably why it's not. I feel like it's not going to be an issue that I'm dealing with for my entire life because I'm terrified, and I was taught to fix that. You know.
Yeah.
I was taught to fix it in an unhealthy way, but I'm working on finding the healthy ways. So, you know, I think part of it is just acknowledging the feeling, apparently. You know,
Yeah.
rather than pushing it aside.
Yeah. Oh God.
If I
that
weren't
sounds
terrified,
awful.
that's when you would have to be terrified.
Yeah,
think.
exactly. I think that's 100% right. Yeah, I think that is 100% right. And I think these conversations are a way for me to gauge where you're at,
Yeah.
because, you know, we don't talk every day.
No.
So like I get a little slightly different perspective.
You know, most people who interact with me throughout the week don't really, they definitely get the surface tad.
Yeah.
You know, like the one that tries to be charming and, you know, match the energy that I'm receiving, you know. And that's just me not being vulnerable, you know. It's me using my survival skills and like, oh, you just explained how rep works to me while you're holding a gun to my head. I'm gonna call you super smart, you know, and then you're
Yeah.
gonna tell your buddies that we should recruit me because I recognize your brilliance. Well,
Yeah, stroke their ego.
you've just been around long enough to learn how things work. It's not.
Yep.
But the next time they tried to hold me hostage, he recognized me and he's like, "Oh, we can take someone else this time."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it works.
Yeah.
I made $30,000 off of someone because I knew what energy to give him. You know?
Yeah. You know how I have I told you how I got hired at the taco stand?
You were taken hostage, right?
Yes.
And then
yeah.
they lied to you, so you were
Mhm.
new, so they tried to help you.
Yeah, they wanted to hire me immediately to everything. And it is interesting. They are like the perspective changes so fast when they're not holding a gun to you anymore.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're actually good people. Like the guy who owns the stall, JJ, he is one of the only people, like, for a long time that I felt that he truly had my back, and he was
Yeah.
willing to, like, just do things for me that I never thought I could ask anyone to do. And I don't necessarily want to ask anyone to do either, but when shit like you get taken hostage like 3 times a day and nobody really gives a shit about you, the police definitely doesn't, and you get so discouraged about like whatever issues I might have, like going to the police, it won't do anything. They won't care.
Yeah, they'll
And
argue over who has to negotiate
Yeah.
right in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that. And so, then when you have someone in your corner who always says, like, whatever you need, like, just let me know. And when they hear that something's happened to you, like, they're genuinely concerned. It was such a huge deal to me, like, when I started realizing that, okay, I might have someone in my corner, after all. And it's crazy because how did that happen? Well, I just worked super hard.
Yeah.
I made myself stand out and be kind of show them that I'm valuable.
Yeah. You're an asset.
I'm an asset. But that was just like the surface.
Yeah.
Or I want to believe it's just, the surface side of things, because they definitely showed interest in just getting to know me as well. So
Yeah. I think
that's
being an asset is a good way to get your foot in the door.
yeah.
But in the end, you've got to make a connection too.
Yes.
Because I don't know, like, if I'm getting robbed, that money that's being robbed of me is an asset, right? I'm gonna be upset about it for like a day or two. Eventually I'm gonna forget about it, because that's something that you just can't spend that mental energy on,
Yeah.
So that was my asset that was robbed from me. But if something that means a lot to me, that's sentimental to me, gets stolen, then that stays with me for a lot longer.
Yeah.
So you want to be the asset to get in, but you want to make yourself sentimental,
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're 100% right. Well,
Well, I'm sentimental about you, Saini, so.
Same.
But I think I need to probably go to bed.
Yeah. I also had, like, people call me a bunch of times. I had to text Raul back because
Yeah.
I thought, like, with Junior just texting and calling me so many times, they probably think I've died. Died in a
Yeah.
ditch somewhere.
Well,
but
I'm not.
here we are.
I'm not about to kill you, so you're
Yeah,
still
no, I
alive
know.
for now
Yeah,
until
yeah.
you drive, and then I can't guarantee it.
Yeah, then it's like my fault. Okay.
All right.
Well,
This place is nice. It's a little loud though.
yeah.
I like the water, but then I
Me
also
too.
don't like the sound of the water.
Yeah, it gets too loud.
I can't
This
walk
sketchy guy,
straight,
though,
so it's gonna be interesting to drive.
Uh-oh.
What's wrong?
No, not. Oh. Sorry, I was just saying there's a sketchy guy over there who's, you know. I think he's always there. And then I said, good luck with the driving, don't crash.
Oh, well, yeah, the guy back here. Yeah, I think that guy sells fentanyl or something.
Yeah, something like that, probably.
He won't talk to me, which is fine
Mhm.
because I don't want what he's selling or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
well, drive safe.
Well, you too.
Have fun with your additional meetings today.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so
Do not
much.
stay up too late.
Yep. I will, I
It's
plan
already
to...
too late, isn't it?
Well, I mean, what's too
Yeah.
late? Okay, well, talk to you later, okay?
Yeah.
You stay
Have a
safe.
good day.